Okay, we got things a little bit messed up here. Let me see that, Adrian. Wow. Oh, don't know what that just did. Hold on a second, y'all. We're supposed to take that out of there. Let me see. That's supposed to be me. No, that's me right there. There we go. I don't know what happened. That was nice, showing two pictures of me from the front and me from the back. Hopefully, let me see if this works when I go back. All right, there we go. We got it all straightened out now. Thank you, studio assistant. She was of great help. You see the cursor there? Thank you. All right, welcome to the fireplace, y'all. Boy, modern technology can be a booger sometimes. But welcome to the fireplace. I'm Irving Fryer, the host here. Good to see all of you. If you're in the room, if you're logged in already, if you joined us already, hit us up in the hit me up in the comments so I can say hi to you, so I can acknowledge you. All right, listen, we have a great, man, I just found out some great news about today's show. So as you know, we have my friend Mario Henry. He's going to be on today, but we got some great, we were talking just earlier, and he's got some fantastic news that really removes any excuses we might have with regards to not getting ourselves financially stable. So before we get into that, and it's going to be a great show, I want you all to make comments. I want you please to ask questions. There are no dumb questions. If you move that over just to the side a little bit over there, Adrian, thank you. My studio assistant is working right now. Check her out. Watch, she's going to move that over. Move it over. You can't see it? All right. You can stand.
How do I move it, Dad?
Press on it and move it.
It's not moving.
Press on the cursor.
I am moving. I am.
Press on the H.
I did.
Let me see it.
Let me figure it out.
There. Okay, she's going to figure it out. It went away. It's only going to stay up there about, I think it's, I have it timed for like 30 seconds. The comments will stay up. So she'll figure it out. Hey, Hope, good to see you. You're familiar with what we're doing already, Mario and I with MWR, but let me give my shout outs first. I'm excited today. I'm sorry for I'm watching. She's watching with her friend. You have to do it on this screen, babe. That's why it won't work. Yeah, you got to do it on that screen. And then it'll move because that's the main screen. That's what they're seeing. This is that screen. No, put it to the side. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Watching today with her friend, Ephraim. All right. What's up, Ephraim? Thanks for joining us today. Hope you have a good time watching us. Listen, shout out to Alicia Way for our dope overlays. Shout out to Lou Rogers, Vision Audio Visual, for that introduction that you saw me dancing and the music. All right. And the emoji winking. That's all cool. I don't know how he does all of that, but he's great. He is great. Lou Rogers, Vision Audio Visual. Thank you, Green Legion. Shout out to Green Legion. Always promoting the fireplace. Yes. Who was that talking? That must be Mario. Mario, your mic's hot. Wait a minute. I'm not bringing you on yet. Also, here I want to do another shout out to no escape gear. That's what I have on today. My friend, I met him a few weeks ago at a golf tournament. His name is Raymond Forbay. Yeah, Forbay. And he keeps sending me gear, and I'm going to keep showing it on the fireplace. It's called No Escape Gear. Let me read his slogan to you. He asked me to read this, so I'm going to do that. The purpose of No Escape Gear is to provide comfortable gear and apparel that inspires our customers to never give up on participating in the athletic activities they are passionate about. No Escape Gear, No Escape Golf, No Escape Tennis Gear, No Escape Skateboard Gear, so on and so forth. Work out, stay positive. This is some really nice stuff. I know you can't really see it there, but you can see it right there. See that? That's really nice. The logo and No Escape Gear, yeah. Then from the back, you see it's got a hood, nice little hood. That's good stuff right there. And he sent me purple. Yeah. I like my purple. So thank you, Raymond, Ford Bay, and No Escape Gear. All right, that's enough of shouting out. Hey, Rashida, good to see you today. You're going to enjoy today's show. All of you are going to enjoy today's show. Just hit me up in the comments. And as they come up, Adrian, you can see Adrian in the back there. You could earlier. You can see you see her right back here. There he is. Wave at that camera back there. This one back there. Yeah, there you go. As the comments come up, you can throw them up and we'll deal with them. So we've had him on the show before. I've known this man for years. He's a good man. He's a good friend. And he's an expert in the financial and the real estate venues, areas. He does a great job. He's the CEO of the U.S. Housing Exchange. He's located down in Houston, but he's also partnered with a conglomerate, I'm going to say, entitled, or their name is Making Wealth Reality, MWR. So let's welcome to the fireplace, Mr. Mario Henry. What's going on, partner?
Hey, man, how you doing, bro?
Bruh, I've never had a bad day in my life. I guess that's what you're supposed to say.
That's what you're supposed to say, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. On the inside, it's speaking a little different, but I've never had a bad day in my life, man. It's always good to see you. Always good to have you on. I get excited every time, when I got out of prison, had talked to you for, obviously, when I was in prison, didn't talk to you, but I hadn't talked to you for a while. Then when I heard back from you, man, I just got excited because I knew it was nothing but good stuff. So you're always a positive thing in my life, positive force, positive energy, and always moving in the right direction. And you always have me in mind too, man. You're one of the people who really haven't dropped me by the wayside. You've always kept me in mind and always kept me connected. So thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that from you immensely. And you've always motivated me from even back in high school when you didn't even know who I was, from us being in Burlington County. And that was very inspiring. So I always appreciate you for laying down a foundation. And as we grew together and left the sports world and started talking about business and evolve, that's the biggest thing that athletes don't do. They stay back into the mind state of being an athlete, and we evolve. That's what we do.
And I'm going to say this, but looks to me as we get older, we're looking more alike, bro.
I know. We both auditioning for Grady.
Yeah, what's going on, man? The older we get, the more we're starting to look alike. We look like real brothers now. My goodness.
I know, man.
My goodness.
But, it's clean living, and it's a dedication to making sure that we can evolve, as we said.
Right.
It's got to evolve and go to the next level.
Well, listen, we had Kier Junior Spates, better known as Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, on with us last week, and he started not going off, but he started talking about and articulating what was happening with MWR, and that's when you called. You were like, "Man, this cat is speaking the truth. He's really going off." Yeah. So, before we get started, I want to show a clip from last week. And Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show speaking on, and he's already involved, and we're going to be doing something, I think, in February here in the Philadelphia area, the tri-state area, because he wants to do that. He's so excited about it. But I want you to hear this. Those of you who didn't hear this clip from last week with Junior speaking about MWR, speaking about finances, speaking about wealth, speaking about credit. Here he goes. This was our promo from last week.
You can have all the intention to become wealthy, to become rich. See, I'm thinking about when I leave here, like I said, I think about things in an accelerated pace because I don't know how much time I have left. They already told me I'm going to die at 11. But if I can leave my nephew, I don't have any kids, but if I can leave my nephew something to where he don't have to worry about working another day in his life. See, here's the part you understand. White people have been doing this for years.
There you go.
See,
There you go.
see, and it's sad when you find out how simple it was.
Yeah,
And when you find out that the game has been played on you for so long.
Yep.
See, the same thing that I'm doing at MWR is the same thing Uncle Steve doing, that any of it. See, I'm gonna tell you something. If rich people have financial advisors, how come you don't? And that's all MWR is. What's wrong with owning land? What's wrong with owning real estate? What's wrong with being out of debt? What's wrong with having your bills reduced? What's wrong with having your credit score up? You ought to be tired of people telling you no about your money.
You ought to be tired about people telling you no about your money, man. He was, wow.
Well, I mean, he's dropping dimes.
Yeah.
The problem that I see with people is they won't change their mind. And their mind is what keeps them in prison, because you got to realize that we have a system that we're involved in. And, you know, obviously black folks, we at the bottom of the system, but, you know, you still got all different demographics that's part of this system, because our school system has been educating us to work in factories. That's why we get taught the way we do. And the system has not changed. So then if we don't like what it is that we have, and we don't like where we're going financially, then if we don't change our mind, we're going to stay at the same course on where we're already going to be headed, which the system is there for us never to retire. Mathematically, it's impossible for us to be able to retire based upon how we have things, because we don't have pensions anymore. We don't have the things that are there for us to perpetuate our lifestyle on where it is and where we're headed. So we're guaranteed to fail. But if we don't change our mind and can follow a different roadmap, we're going to fail.
Wow. Are you hearing this, people? Because for the most part, we don't even have these kind of conversations amongst ourselves, preparing for the future, having something, money working for us so that we don't outlive our money. That's one of my greatest fears, is outliving my money, me still being alive and I don't have any money so I can live. I might as well be dead. So these are conversations not only that we don't have, but conversations that have never been introduced to us in our lives from the time that we, like Junior said, white folk, and this is nothing against white folk, but white folk have been doing this for years. They pass it from generation to generation. The key to wealth, the key to success, the key to financial stability. They have the key, they have the answer, and they pass it down from generation to generation. So this is why Mario is so emphatic about what we're doing with MWR and what he's doing with the U.S. Housing Exchange. That's why I'm so emphatic about this, is because we need this for us, so we can pass this down from us to the next generation and have it last for generations to come. Listen, before we get, I want to talk a little bit about credit, but before we do that, I want to give the good news to everybody first. Mario called me a couple of weeks ago and told me that this information was getting ready to become reality with MWR and the membership, and they tied it into working out. They've tied it into crypto. Man, you guys you're making it so we have no excuse to succeed. That's how you're making it. You're making it so those of us who get this information, we have no excuse to succeed. If we fail, we tried hard. We did it on purpose. if we fail with what you got set up for us now that you're getting ready to present, that you're getting ready to unroll. So tell the people about what's happening now with the workouts, with the crypto, with all of that, and MWR.
So the biggest thing that we try to do is, you remember when we played, you run some plays, you think about what can happen. Everybody wants to create that one play that's going to be a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be able to remove the barriers, because a lot of times to fix a problem, it costs money. We don't think nothing about going into debt, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 if your kid can get an education. What are they going to learn that they're going to be in? If they're going to be in law school, be a doctor, be an engineer, yes, you need that degree. But if your children aren't in those fields and you're willing to go to the end of the world to make sure they got a degree, what exactly is the plan? So you're willing to spend money to be able to get that college education.
Mm-hmm.
But if we tell you the educational system has failed, you don't even know what your credit score is going to be impactful off of the interest rates that you're going to pay out, whether you're going to be a homeowner or not, what the safety is going to be of your car.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing is tied to credit, and we don't know it. So then now we got the partnership, and why I chose the partnership of MWR. Wasn't big enthusiastic about network marketing. It just really wasn't my thing. But when I saw this membership, and I saw that within that $119 a month membership, you could have your credit right for you and the spouse. You got a software program that can show you how to be able to pay less interest to the banks on your mortgage. So you're going to pay the banks over 30 years of mortgage. You're going to pay front-loaded interest for 18 years before you're paying more interest than principal, and you don't even see it because it's like carbon monoxide. They're saying, okay, as long as you got this payment that works within your budget, you can be able to say you own the house. And then if you're going to be a W-2 employee, you're going to pay 3 times the taxes that what I would pay being a small business, being able to have those write-offs. So let's create a membership that would allow you to be able to get the small business write-offs that a business owner would get, and that would allow you to pay less taxes out. Let's be able to have you pay less interest out. Let's be able to have your credit score can be as high as it possibly can. But now there's a membership that you're going to pay for. So then let's eliminate the fear of having the $119 membership per month by now integrating a marketing company that's going to offer you money to work out.
Say it again.
That's all they're going to do.
Say it again.
You'll be able to earn up to $10 a day in working out, burning calories, counting steps, and now your membership can be a net zero cost. So healthy
and wealthy.
Yes.
Good God Almighty.
Because you need to have seed money.
Yeah.
And then now, instead of advertisers advertising and paying networks billions of dollars, they're going to say, you know what? We want to advertise to you for $10 a day as long as you work out.
Wow.
And so then now your membership can actually be paid for through working out. We'll have it up and launched by the first week of January. So then now you can actually now control that. Now we see crypto is the big craze.
Right.
Everybody's talking about crypto.
Exactly. But before you go into, tell everybody exactly what crypto is, because when they hear that, it sounds foreign. It sounds something that's not like real. What is crypto?
Well, what happens is you have a digitized currency that is digital. People will say, well, it's artificial. It's not backed up by anything. But our own monetary system is not backed up by anything. We get certificates known as dollars, and the dollars doesn't really have intrinsic value until the government says, hey, you could use this as intrinsic value. It's not backed up by anything either. So then now what crypto is, it's almost like a rebellion against the banks. And we're saying, you know what? We're going to create our own currency. And typically it's not backed by anything either. Bitcoin's not backed by anything. So then what we did was we said, you know what? Let's create a hybrid. Let's create USHX tokens that actually is going to be backed by our projects that we're doing, backed by our revitalization of Salem City, which, by the way, Bishop Brown just was on the phone with our people over there in the crypto community, and we're going to actually revitalize Salem City, New Jersey, along with several other cities throughout the United States, and we're going to do it with USHX tokens. So then now, when you know about how that works, and our valuation right now is 1,000th of a penny, you can get a token for. So then now, as that value goes up to that token, if it gets up to $1, for example, you done made 1,000 times the money of what the token would be if you buy it now.
Right.
If you buy it right now, as it goes up in value, and what ours represents is helping people stop renting, firing their landlord. That's what our token represents. Our token also represents ending homelessness. We're starting with the kids that are aging out of foster care. We're also creating transitional housing for the people that came out of prison with nonviolent offenders and non-sexual offenders. We're creating a pathway for them to have safe havens as well, because a lot of these different halfway houses aren't really career driven.
No.
So we want to actually get our houses to where an inmate or a foster kids that's aging out right now, why they're saying aging out, you only have a financial incentive to be able to house these kids through the government until they're 18. After 18, they pretty much throw these kids out.
They're on their own, yeah.
And there's 28,000 of these kids that are being released per year. And the statistics are 71% of the females will become pregnant after aging out 2 years. 42% will be in jail. 52% will be homeless. So we want to rescue with our program, because you got on one side, the Democrats want to take care of you forever. And on the Republicans, they don't even want to acknowledge you in certain areas, because they're like, you know what? Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. There's no bootstraps. So
that's right. I gotta say, black folk ain't had boots nor straps.
Yeah, man, boots. There's no boot. So now what we want is our token to represent what Black Wall Street was supposed to represent, but that was taken from us. Our communities. What do we do to stop gentrification? Is build cheaper houses that's not going to make the property taxes for the people who are already there to where they can't afford to stay in their house anymore.
Right.
You could have a paid off house, and they make it like they did in Brooklyn. They put an $800,000 brownstone, then now all the property's worth $800,000. You got bad credit, you can't even take advantage of the $800,000, and then now you got to pay the property taxes of what the $800,000 house would be. So then you're pushed out of your own community.
Right.
That's what they're doing all throughout the United States. So our token is going to allow us to buy blocks and put a $300,000 house in there for middle America instead of the $800,000 house. So we got to make our community better, because more of a tax base helps the schools, helps things that we need within the community. But we're not going to pillage our communities either, because we want to help create the people that's already there. So that's what that token is going to be. So we want to have it to where you could get a free membership to all the different things that we talked about. And we want to allow you to be able to buy $100 worth of USHX tokens per month just from you working out. Then if it goes up to $1, then that one token represents $1,000 of what you bought today. So that's what we're trying to be able to do. We want to really make wealth real. Right.
So what you're saying, let me get this straight, because I'm just above. No, I'm just low. I need to understand this, and I'm sure hopefully the question that I'm going to ask or what I'm going to say, somebody else needs it explained this way as well. So we get a membership, and I'm already a part of MWR, but there's a membership with MWR, credit, financial plan, access to attorneys, all the things that you need to get yourself together financially so that you can so that you can retire, as you said earlier. And it doesn't matter where you are in life. It doesn't matter what you're doing right now. It doesn't matter how old you are. This can happen. All right. Get a plan together. And for that membership, it costs $119 a month. Now, just by working out, and getting my membership, I can earn $10 a day towards that $119 a month payment and actually work out, get healthy, and get wealthy at the same time, and it not cost me anything financially. Woo! Yeah. And on top of that, I'm going to get crypto from working out. Is that correct? Correct?
Absolutely. We're going to be into something, and you'll be getting crypto that's backed by real estate. Which is a little bit different than you getting backed by zero.
Yeah.
So now you can be able to have your tokens in a flip where you can redeem it in cash and or tokens.
Listen, how many people? I got 9 people. We just have 9 people watching right now. Hopefully, obviously, this is going to be watched later on after it posts. But listen, Mario, tell these people where they need to go to get involved with MWR, to get involved with this whole scenario, so they can get themselves on the right track financially. Tell them where they need to go.
That you're going to want them to go to your link instead of my link, because I'll gladly tell them mine.
I can't remember.
I know you want them on your team. So
yeah.
I think that what can happen is in the comment section, you can put your link on there. And then with that link, it's going to be a mastermind. So it's not going to be no nonsense like what different network marketing companies are going to be. We're not going to be, shaving heads and banging tambourines. I mean, we're focused and we're really trying to get in, because you got to ask yourself this, and this is what I tell people. What are you currently doing that when you stop working, if you mess around and stop working at 65 and you say that that's when you're going to retire, what if you live to your 100? How long will that money that you save, how long will it last?
Exactly.
Will it get through inflation? Will it get you if you have a catastrophic illness? What if you have taxes go higher in the future and you got your money deferred in your 401k? It's not going to work. We're not saving enough money for us to be able to perpetuate our lifestyle. So we're either going to have to work until we die, or what if we can't get that job? What if we can't work until we die? Do you have a family member that you can live in their basement? Do you have a family member that will take care of you financially and take care of themselves? No. So then you might be permanently camping and living in tents when you're 65, because now you ran out of money. So we got to set a foundation. We got to lay out a play right now that can be working along your regular way. So you continue to work your W-2 job, but then let's also work on some other areas that can actually allow us a chance to be able to stop working.
Man, you're speaking the truth, bro. You are speaking the truth. We got a couple of comments we want to throw up on the screen so that you can address them. Can you throw that up there? I thought I had my comment section. Let me see if this will work.
And is it $10 per workout or $10 per day? $10 per day is the maximum that you can earn per day.
Right. So it's really $10 per workout, because you can't earn the $10 unless you work out. Put it down. See if you can put it down a little bit lower down here. All right. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah. Yep, that's better. My comment section is not working right now. Boy, modern technology is killing me today. So yeah, it's $10 per workout, and it's $10 per day. But you can't earn the $10 unless you work out. Correct?
And exactly. And so what would happen is, an example would be you work out, and then now at the end of the day, you can redeem the $10, but you got to look at one of the sponsored ads. So they're paying you to be able to look at their ad. So then let's say you got that $10, you could redeem the $10 as cash, or they might say, you know what, Olive Garden's one of the sponsors, or Olive Garden might say, you know what, you redeem this, you could get $20 to go to Olive Garden. Now, be smart and get your membership paid for because you got that option.
Yeah.
But then you also got the other option. And then you also will have the option to be able to get that that $100 worth of crypto per month. So you do have different people that's going to be more health conscious, be wanting to advertise to you. There'll be deals from Nike. There'll be deals from all different types of marketing people throughout the country. And you're going to be able to see all the different things on what you can get, but you got to have this membership. So
Hope,
the
hope,
membership through MWR will open you up so you can be able to get yourself out of debt, lower your taxes, get your credit score increase. And remember, your membership not only covers you, it covers you and your spouse.
well, that's great. Throw that up there again, Adrian. Hope said that she's excited about this new piece, and she's doing the debt elimination plan right now. So again, there are different aspects to MWR. It's not just credit. It's not just a financial plan to get yourself in a position to retire, but there's debt elimination, which that's increase in finances. When I eliminate some of my debt, that brings me a larger or better cash flow, a more yeah.
And think about it like this:
more lucrative cash flow.
If you have your USHX tokens and you buy a house, and if you don't have a house, let's buy one for you. But you got your USHX tokens. As that token goes up in value, suppose you got a couple million tokens, and then it goes up in value. Now you could pay off a house in 4 or 5 years if you got the debt elimination software and everything. But what we'll teach you is don't keep that house paid off. Refinance, get the equity right back out, and now you're increasing your net worth because you're getting that cash. And then now with that cash, let's use that cash to start flipping some properties. And then now you continue to pay your mortgage payment, but now the leverage that you're going to get from that home equity, we might be able to flip 2-3 properties. And then now if you can make 20% interest, which is what we do for our capital contributor partners, you can make 20% interest plus 5% of our equity. So then it's very well known that you can make 30-35% on your money. So then let's say you pulled out $150,000 from you paying off a house and refinancing, and then you might be getting 30-35% on that 150 because it represents you doing your flips. So it's not a one-trick pony. For us to get you out of the situation of being broke, which most people are going to be headed for, it is a plan that's going to require your attention because you got too much distractions. I love football, but come Sunday, we got plugged in to what the success of the Eagles are going to do or the Cowboys or the Patriots or whatever. But none of you is going to get anything if your favorite team wins the Super Bowl. Quit thinking that.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Nothing.
You posting.
Matter of fact, it's going to cost you more because you're going to spend more money celebrating.
You're going to spend more money celebrating, paraphernalia, everything. You're not getting jack. So then now let's put this thing in. During April, we're worried about the future of your favorite football franchise, but how much of that time are you putting into your own future? You know, people spend more time, no offense, Irvin, trying to get to heaven than they do on what they're going to do when they get old.
All they have to do is wait because we all have to answer that bell, my friend. We all have to answer that bill. It's a debt we all have to pay. It just, do what you can do while you're here. So what you're saying, again, because you mentioned earlier, having your own business, not being a W-2 employee. So this is what you're talking about with regards to, entering into with MWR, creating that plan, buying your own home, paying that home off with the debt elimination plan, and then pulling some of the money out, starting your own business, reinvesting in real estate, and then doing it all over again. And now now you have this you have a retirement in place for yourself. Yes. That's inclusive of financial with money and with real estate.
We got to have a plan if you die tomorrow or you mess around and live to your 100. Or if unfortunately, I lost one of my clients last month to pancreatic cancer. But the plan that we gave to her, she ended up getting about $400,000 upon first diagnosis of the pancreatic cancer while she was alive. And that was allowing her to get some experimental treatments and everything like that. And she ended up living a good year and a half after the diagnosis. And it allowed her to be able to do a lot of the things. And then she still was able to leave behind an extra $500,000 when she passed.
Nice.
But a lot of times what people's go-to move is they get that pancreatic cancer. Here goes the GoFundMe. Somebody died. Here goes the GoFundMe. Now, I'm very, very compassionate, but I will not donate for anybody's funeral if you did not have life insurance, because that was trifling. You know that you're going to die at some point. Pay the money, get the insurance. Don't expect the kindness of people to be able to pay for your funeral. So there's things that we do as a culture. We watch the Soul Train Awards. We watch this. We watch that, celebrating everybody else but ourselves. You watch a versus battle. I don't even need to see a verse battle because all I got to do is go on social media and I know who's doing it, what happened, this happened, this girl wore this whack dress and everything. You hear about all that foolishness, but it's not there to benefit you. We got to stop being a fan and start being a player.
Yes. Stop being a fan. Start being a player. We have any more comments, Adrian? No comments for now. So
Good, bro.
no. I want to make sure I get them up on the screen and get people's questions answered, because I know there's folk who are listening. We're up to 10 watchers right now. That's when you have a live podcast, that's pretty good when you have anywhere from 10 to 20 people watching live. There are people who come back and watch it later on. And I will, when I put the thumbnail up for this podcast, I will include my MWR membership code so that you can go through me and join MWR. I believe my sister Hope is already a member of MWR. I kind of just vaguely, lightly suggested it to her or brought it to her attention. But this thing has picked up momentum and is really moving in a direction that, if we don't pay attention to this, like you said, or like I said, you're removing every excuse for us to fail. If we fail financially, those of us who have gotten this information, is because we're ignorant. Ignore is the root word for ignorant. We ignored the information that we got. We're just plain old ignorant, which is dumb. It's dumb to be ignorant. Talk about credit. We're always seeing, and I know that was your area of expertise when we kind of first met each other and you first started out. That was your area of expertise, and it just it took off from there. But that's I know credit. And we hear all kinds of different stories about credit. We hear all kinds of different things, or things that we should be doing or not doing, and what affects our credit and what doesn't affect our credit, and do this and don't do that, and companies that are the best and companies that are not real good. Give us some points, some things that we can do on our own to help our credit, and things we should not do.
I'll give you a real live example of what happened, and it's going to be funny. On my Facebook page, you're going to actually hear a recording from a collection agency that tried to call me. And of course, one of my sons was like, they absolutely called the worst person in America for what this situation was. So there was a place that I lived at, it was a couple years ago, and I left. And I guess, I called and transferred the water bill out of my name and everything like that. But I guess something didn't happen administratively. So then they didn't do it. And then I get a call about $430 something that they're saying that I owed. So the woman calls me up and she's like, I'm so-and-so from this particular collection agency. You owe something. And if you don't, the credit, I'm trying to, we're going to probably put this on your credit report. Now, most people would hear that and not think nothing of it. They'll be like, okay, or they'll come up with an excuse of why they didn't pay something or whatever. First thing is, admit nothing. These people are calling you because your original creditor wrote it off. They took an IRS tax write-off for that debt.
Right.
Number two, she didn't give me a mini Miranda, which means this is an attempt to collect the debt and any information will be used to obtain that. She didn't do that. Number three, she threatened me on putting it on my credit report if I did not pay her.
Right.
And I sat, I got comfortable.
Did you curse?
I smiled. And I said, you know what? I'm an independent auditor for FDCPA compliance, and you made a major mistake because you happen to have called me. You didn't identify what my rights were, and now you're trying to collect and threaten me. So I knew in my mind, I just made $2,000. because it was $1,000 violation for each one of those. I always recommend that people download through their phone a call recorder that will record every single call that comes incoming on your phone. And make sure you look and see what state you're living in to make sure you're in a one-party state, which means that one party has to know that you're being recorded. If you're in a two-party state, then you have a collection agency contact you, say, hey, by the way, you're telling me that calls are recorded for quality assurance. I'm letting you know that your call is being recorded for quality assurance. Thank you. So then now, when she did, she hung up. And so I called her right back. I was like, I need to speak to a manager. And she says, well, I am a manager. And I was like, then you're in big trouble because I need to speak to your compliance department, your legal department. Choose who it is. You never pay a collection agency, number one. You never do.
Why, now tell everybody why, because I say that too. I learned that from you, but tell everybody why. You don't get panicked. Don't get upset. Don't go take out a second mortgage on your house.
No.
When a collection agency calls you, don't go into hysteria.
Oh yeah.
But
I smile.
But like you said, never admit guilt because you don't owe the collection agency any money. You owe the original lender who had the collection agency buy that debt from them at pennies on a dollar. They wrote it off, the original lender, and now the collection agency is trying to recoup their money. You
learned something in 20 years.
Yeah, the collection agency has no documentation with your signature on it. The original lender does, but the collection agency doesn't, and they have to provide that.
They have to provide everything that comes. So the first thing I tell people is I don't do any business over the phone. You're going to need to fax me or email me, where the whole thing is. And I tell people all the time, don't mail it to me because there's no guarantee that I'm going to get it to me. Because as soon as I get that, I'm hitting it back like I'm Serena, hitting that right back to them.
Serena Williams or Serena Fryer? You talking about Serena Williams or Serena Fryer?
Both, but I'm talking about this time. I'm talking about Williams. but it's one of those type things that if I'm gonna pay somebody, I'm gonna pay the original creditor. If they tell me I can't pay it, then guess what? We're gonna play that game all day long. I won't pay the collection agency because once it's on your credit report as a collection and you pay it, now it's a paid collection. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought that. You're like, you paid it, you admitted the guilt. Now I can't get it off because now you already admitted the fact that that's yours.
Right.
And you didn't need to admit it was yours because you did not have a contract with the collection agency. You had a contract with the original creditor. The original creditor took the IRS tax write-off. Now there's nobody to pay. That's why they won't take your payment. They'll only take the collection agency's payment because they took the write-off. So then what I told them and say, look, I even didn't admit it to the original creditor. I'm like, hey, you got something, you saying that I owe the money. Instead of me going through all this arguing and everything like that, let me settle up with you. Or I may not do it because I know you took the write-off. So there's certain things that you never was taught in school. And these things will affect your score. And that 1 percentage point over a 30-year mortgage may actually be tens of thousands, even $100,000, that 1 percentage point that you didn't get because of the fact that your credit score was marginal. So then also stop looking at Credit Karma to determine to see what your credit score is. That's not using a FICO score model. The banks use FICO, F-I-C-O. I don't know what Credit Karma is doing. I think they're using Vantage or something like that because then somebody be like, well, I got a 700 score. I'll be like, oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it's through Credit Karma. That's a 590.
Yeah.
They're going up to 900.
So, they go up to 9. So, okay, that's the difference. I got you.
I mean, well, actually 990. FICO goes to 850. So you got to really subtract about 140 points Sometimes up to 4. It's not a perfect 1v1.
So what is Credit Karma for? What is that for? What's the good? What's the good in it?
I guess to let you see where, sometimes I'll use it just to see what addresses that the bureaus have on me, because bad credit is tied to your address. It's not tied to your social or your name. So the first step on what I tell my clients at first, I'm like, well, gonna need to change your address. Well, isn't that illegal? I was like, how is that illegal? You could change your address to anywhere in the world that you want it to be. Because if I know all that baggage is coming from that mailing address, then I'm not going to use that mailing address. So, there's a lot of
that's legal. That's legal. That's totally legal to change your mailing address. Yeah.
I'm going to change my mailing address because all my dirt is at this one address.
Well, you know what, Mario? I know that to be true because that affected me in a negative way. Listen, when it was October 2nd, 2015, on that day, that's when I was sentenced and sent to prison on October 2nd, 2015. That same day, the state of New Jersey went back, and the monies that supposedly I knew Barksdale was stealing, they charged me. They put that on my credit as additional income and taxed me for it and sent a tax notification on October 15th, 2015 to my old address where I used to live.
Yep.
And when I went into court to try to tell them, listen, I never received that. Because they got a default judgment against me for those monies. And I never received it. I never got it. I was in prison. Well, you didn't tell us. Here's what they said. You have to change your address and you have to let us know. And because you didn't change your address, no, there's no proof that it even went to that address. It's just that they said they sent it to the address. I never saw it. No proof that it ever went there. But they said, yeah, you have to change your address. And because you didn't tell us you changed your address after you moved, I'm like, I was in prison. Then you owe us this money. I'm like, so yeah, it's legal. I say that to say this. It's legal when Mario says change your address. That's something that's legal. That's something they actually look for you to do, particularly when it comes to legal matters.
And you want to make sure all your mail is forwarded from all your addresses where you lived at for the last 7 years, because that's what you're accountable for is the 7 years.
Right.
Some bad credit people, they move a lot. So they might, I'll look at somebody's thing. And that's why when somebody's like, I went to a credit repair company and then I look at their credit and they got 10 different name variations. They got all the addresses on there, all the phone numbers. I'm like, fire that company because they don't know what they're doing. Because the first step that you have to do is you have to remove all those different tentacles that's basically reaching out. And you want the bureaus to do their actual job and do an investigation.
Right.
Don't tie me to what these addresses are. I want you to investigate, and I'm not going to make your life easier for you. So there's a lot of things that goes behind the scenes when you get these things done that you got to know what bureau that you have. Don't just tell me what your score is. Tell me what all 3 scores are, because that you got 3 different scores. So you got Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and a lot of the stuff that we teach, you're not going to find on the internet. You're not going to find through any book. This is from me doing it over 20 years. This is from me gathering data, doing boring stuff, suing a collection agency, even if I, suing a collection agency and go to court and find out what they can and can't do. Looking at different dockets and look to see where it is, and then sneaking into the courtroom and listening. I did a lot of crazy stuff just so I can learn how this whole process worked. So I don't have to do that anymore. I got enough data to where that's what I'm doing. But now we're saying, let's kick it up a notch. Let me say, you know what? Hold my beer. Let's me buy a house for you and fix your credit while you're temporarily renting. And as long as I got somebody that wants to get to the next level and not be bootleg what got you into bad credit to begin with, I'm not going to judge what you did before, but I'm going to judge what you do from this point forward. So you got to change. You got to change your mindset on what got you the bad credit. You can't be where you forgot about everything. You can't be where you're so focused on what's going on with your kids, you forgot something. Put all your bills on auto pay. Start to pay attention. Start to understand. Start looking. Pay the money to get a real credit monitoring membership. And stop the free stuff. We have to change our mind. That's why I started the show saying, change your mind, change your life.
Wow. One of the things that for those of you, and Vanetta, thank you for joining us today. I saw your comment come up earlier. This is great information. Mom, good to see you. Wow, wow, wow. Mom says, wow, wow, wow.
Hey, Miss Eileen.
One of the things that I remember that Mario was really addressing when he says we have to change our mind, we have to pay attention, and we have to follow through. I was a part of what Mario was doing years ago when he was doing Halo and Credit Evolution and
Yep,
just really focusing, just really focusing on credit. One of the things that was taking place back then, there was a process. People would join, and it was for a very minimal amount of money with Credit Evolution. We were changing people's score, increasing people's score, some 100, 125, some 175 points in less than 90 days, sometimes less than 60 days. And so initially they would pay their monies to be a part of Credit Evolution, so we could start the process to increase their credit. Well, these envelopes, you will get 3 envelopes from the 3 creditors: Experian, Equifax, and what's the other one? TransUnion. You get an envelope. It would be a plain envelope they would send to your house, and you would have to take that envelope and send it to us, because they won't give us your credit scores. They'll give it to you. So they'll send it to you. We ask for it. They send it to you. It comes in these plain envelopes. Look for it, send it to us, then we can get to work on your stuff. So months will go by after somebody joined Credit Evolution. Then they're calling us complaining because nothing has happened to the credit. Well, did you get the envelope? Yes. What do you mean, did I get the envelope? Yeah, we told you that you're going to get an envelope that's a plain, I threw that away. And then it's our fault. Then they blame us. Now we're not doing a good job. They report us to the Fair Credit Bureau, Better Business Bureau. And it was a mess because people didn't pay attention. People didn't follow through. People kept having the same mindset and living in the same mindset that got them in that position in the first place. And we've got to change our minds. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always gotten. You're always going to be where you've always been. And we got to change something.
What's funny, man, when you say that, it reminds me of my rookie year. And I'll never forget this. When you're running down and you get a streak route or something like that, and you sometimes throw the ball, and depending upon the time of the day, that sun may end up blinding you, and you may drop it because you couldn't see the ball.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember we're in Phil. Ray Perkins is in there, and he asked me, because I knew the play was coming. You get that. The play is coming.
The eye in the sky don't lie. Yeah.
And the thing is. I remember he said, son, Alabama accent, son, what position do you play? I was like, wide receiver. He goes, what's that job? I said, to catch the ball. And he says, you sure? Yeah. And then he gets the clicker and gets the thing right when the thing is hitting my hand.
Wow.
And then he asks again, I forgot what you said. What position do you play? I repeat it again. And then I drop it. And then he replays it. I dropped it.
Lord.
He's like, what happened? I said, I couldn't see it. The sun was there. He said, son, do you know how long the sun has been right where it was? And I was like, I don't have the answer for that. He says, I don't either. But as long as I've been alive, that sun been in that same place. Catch the damn ball. So what I learned was that there wasn't an excuse that I can say if I don't do my job.
Right.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
So then why when we get grown and we're in the real world and it's not some meaningless game, we immediately say an excuse, which is a lie that we tell to ourselves. That's all an excuse is. Mm-hmm. So then we have to first be accountable. And people are telling me, they come in, well, how do I know you'll be able to fix my credit? And I'll be like, from the mere fact that you're the one who's contacted me and I'm not soliciting you. I was like, I'm proving you're the variable.
Right.
You see, and the reason why you needed me to begin with is because you did not pay people on time. So I'm not the one on court. You're the one that didn't do that. And now you want me to buy you a house. And now you're going to ask me a question like that. look at the testimonials, look at that where it is, and you make a business decision, and you can start to reflect of what you did to get yourself in the situation, not what I did on what I got to do to rescue you.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's a business decision. MWR has the playbook to financial freedom, if I can say it that way. They have the playbook. They have all of the answers. They don't make excuses. Excuses won't work. Excuses will not make a difference when you're trying to get yourself into a better place financially. We got to be focused. We got to be structured. We have to be mindful of the plan and set out to accomplish the plan. But you don't have to come up with the plan. MWR has the plan, and they have the pieces to make the plan work. You just have to interject yourself, slot yourself in there, and become a part of what is already happening, what's already been successful for many, many, many people. This is a proven company. There are thousands. When they get on some of these Zooms, I don't know if it's Zooms you have or these calls that you guys have on a weekly basis, like 4 or 5 times a week, I get these notifications from MWR. There's thousands of people on these calls. I'm like, this is a feeding frenzy. It's absolutely going bonkers. And for those of you who are watching, there's a lot of black folk. There are a lot of black folk.
97%.
Yeah. There's a lot of black folk who are waking up. Yeah. Who are gaining access to the information that has been, that more so that we've ignored most of our lives. Information that has already been there, that's always been there, but we have access to now. And because though we've gained access to it, a lot of us have ignored it. But now there's a lot of us waking up and taking advantage of these opportunities and creating wealth. There's some successful, many successful people financially that have entered into MWR, taking advantage of all the opportunities that MWR offers. So, Mario, we thank you, man. It always goes by short. I got to keep having you on. I'm just going to keep. No, seriously, I'm just going to keep bringing you back every month or so, because this is something that we have to promote. This is something that we have to continue to keep in the minds and in front of our people, period, but particularly black people, because we're behind the 8 ball. We're behind the game. We're not in the forefront. We're in the latter part, and we need to do a better job for ourselves.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate you being, I appreciate being invited and everything. I appreciate for the audience and everything as usual, man. It's a very classy setup on what you got. And I definitely want you to meet Bo and Alfonso, the people that was responsible for creating the tokens, and have them on the show, because those guys right there, they figured this thing out. They are venture capitalists, which means that they're the people like on Shark Tank, where they will invest in different things for a percentage. They said, you know what? We don't want anything of this money that you're going to make from flipping these houses. We only want 35% of the tokens. That's all we want. So then guess what is going to happen if they are only concerned about the tokens?
I was going to say,
it's going to go up.
Yeah, must be something about the tokens. If they only want,
like, wait a minute.
Yeah. If they only want the tokens, there's something to these tokens.
All right, you only want the tokens. Let me start to understand what this thing is. But I definitely want you to meet them, and that they're going to actually be single-handedly responsible, of course, with us brand as well, for Salem, which I know you're the one who was the mastermind to bring that in with Bishop Brown. So we look forward to being able to do something like that. But, like I said, bro, we got a lot to do.
Well, we have the capacity. We can bring them all on, have all of you, all 4 of us, both of them, you and myself, can be on the show at the same time. It'd just be, you see, we have 2 windows now. We can have 4. We'll have 4 windows up, and we all can have a conversation and answer any questions and bring about any clarity that people may need with regards to what's happening. But those of you who are watching, look it up. Go to MWR. Google MWR, Making Wealth Reality, and just kind of
sign up until you get his link.
Yeah, don't sign up until you get my link. But I'm gonna put my link up today, before the end of the day today. When you go back to the Friar Place page, YouTube channel, I should say, on the thumbnail for today, you'll see in the description my link will be there, and you can click on that link and use that link to sign up to MWR. All right, Mario, thank you, brother.
Take care, man.
We'll set that up for a future in the next month or so. All right.
Absolutely, brother. You take care, man.
All right. Tell Charmaine I said, hey.
All right,
bro. He's out. Good information, y'all. That is, I love having him on. He is actually one of the smartest people I know. We've had numerous conversations about other things, not just financial, but security, life security, being secure in our lives moving forward. And man, the mind of that man is incredible. And I will always listen. You should always keep people close to you that are doing better than you, that are in front of you, that are what you consider to be higher than you. Because if you're the sharpest pencil in the box that you're in, then something's wrong with that box of pencils that you're in. If you're the sharpest one, you should always keep folk around you that keep you moving forward, or that pull you forward, that you're always trying to keep up with. And Mario is one of those people, and I thank God for him. Yes. Is that Vanetta? Did you put Vanetta up there? She's there. I've got 12 people watching right now. Thank you. You're welcome, Vanetta. I'm going to, like I said, when I put the thumbnail up in a couple of hours, it'll be up in a couple of hours. It'll be up before the night. I have to go search to find where my link is for MWR. I haven't used it at all, actually. Actually, I did a long time ago with Hope. So I'll look back in my text messages to my sister, and I'll throw it up there. That's what I'm going to do. But thanks, Vanetta. Who else do we have still watching with us? Mom, thank you for being with us. I don't know if Richard Melton, if you're still with us, thanks for always supporting. Rashida, is Rashida still with us?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me who's still with it.
Okay, just throw some of them up there. My studio assistant. Listen, we're going to shout out. We're about done. We're going to shout out to Alicia Way. Again, thanks for these. Angel, she's back again. So true. Good to see you. Look for that link, Angel. You want to need this. Thanks to Alicia Way for the overlays. Thank you, Lou Rogers, video, audio, visual for our introduction. And also when we have highlights and things like that, Lou is the one who puts those together. Thank you, Green Legion. Thank you, Raymond, for Ford Bay, for the no escape gear. Yeah, no escape gear. You see it from the back. Yeah. Hey, is that Mayman Bay? What's up? He said, thanks for the information. You're welcome, bro. I think that's my frat brother. Is that Mayman Bay? Brother Bay. Good to see you, man. Thanks for supporting us today. God bless you. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Hope all is well. Hope you're hope you've had a great Thanksgiving, and holidays are going to be even better as we get closer to Christmas. All right, y'all. We're out of here. Thank you, my studio assistant. See her she's doing a good job, y'all. She's not in her chair. She's down there on the floor. Wave at the camera. She has to see what's going up here on the screen. But we'll be back next week. Oh, no, we won't be back next week. That's what I wanted to tell you. We're going to be out of town next week, and I've not been able to get my my mobile set up together. Sorry. So next week, we will not have a show next week. Our next show will be, let me look at the calendar. So today is the 3rd. Next Friday will be the 10th. We will not have a show. I will put a promo out reminding us that there's not going to be a show next week. The next show will be December 17th. All right. We'll be back on December 17th. Yes, that's a week before Christmas. We'll be back with a surprise guest. It won't be just me. It won't be just Adrian. We'll be back with a surprise guest. But until then, y'all have a great time. Stay healthy. Stay smart. We got this variant of this COVID-19, Omicron, that's out. Y'all protect yourselves. Wear masks. If you go inside, please protect yourself. Be careful. Let's not be stupid. All right? Stay healthy. Love you. See you next show on the 17th. We'll be back here at the Friar Place. All right? Holla.